which one of the following most logically completes the argument below? Within the Earth's core, which is iron, the pressure increases with the depth because the temperature at which the iron melt increases with the pressure. So inner core will remain to be solid because it will not melt easily, and the outer core is molten. Physicists can determine the melting temperature of the iron at any given pressure and the pressure for any given depth in the earth. Therefore, the actual temperature at the boundary of the earth's outer and inner cores, the melting temperature of the iron there can be determined. Because which one of the following most logically completes the argument? If physicists, they know the depth of the boundary between inner and outer cores. If physicists, they know the boundary between inner and outer cores, so they can easily determine the temperature at the boundary. Because he says that physicists can determine the melting temperature of iron at any given pressure and pressure for any given depth in the earth. So if they know the depth of the boundary between inner and outer cores, they can surely determine the temperature at the boundary. This A option completes the logical argument given in the passage. This critical reasoning question, the answer is option A. If the physicists are able to know the depth of the boundary between inner and outer cores, they will be able to determine the temperature at the boundary. The students were awaiting for the arrival of chief guest. We have to find out the error in this sentence. Awaiting for should be replaced by waiting for. The B part of the sentence, awaiting for, should be replaced by waiting for. The students were waiting for the arrival of the chief guest will be the correct usage by replacing awaiting for by waiting for. And the correct sentence after doing the correction will become the students were waiting for the arrival of chief guest. Answer is B option, awaiting. A four-letter code word consisting of ABC is to be formed. If the code includes all the three letters, how many such codes are possible? So we have to form A, B, C, and we have to form a four-letter word from these three letters. Through ABC, we want to form a four-letter word. So what can be the words? I want to form a four-letter word which can be A, B, C, and now this fourth letter can be any one among them. The four-letter word consisting of ABC, if the code includes all the three letters, because ABC, everything have to be included, right? So ABC have been included. Fourth letter can be any one among A, it can be A, it can be B, it can be C. So what are the words that I'm going to get? ABC A, ABC, ABC, B, and I'm going to get ABC, C. So what I'm going to get, ABC will be universally there because all three letters should be used. A four-letter word can be something like this. So what actually I'm doing is, and this A can come anywhere in between, and these words can get rearranged themselves. So one thing is, this is, if I fix ABC over here, it's a four-letter word. There can be three different type of possibilities that can exist. One having 2A, because ABC have to be definitely involved. So if ABC have to be definitely involved, all three letters should come. So one word will be the type of word where two A's will be involved, another word will be where two B's will be involved, and another word will be where two C's will be involved, and ABC have to be compulsory in all of them. So there are three such different type of words that can be formed, one having 2A, one having 2B, and one having 2C, and ABC should be always there. So three different type of word, and each of these word, if I pick up any such word can get rearranged themselves in 4 factorial divided by 2 of the letters have to be same, divided by 2 factorial. So what we have here, 3 into 24 upon 2, that is equal to 12. 36 possible arrangements can be there. Once more, we need to understand the sum of the consecutive integer minus 42 to n. If I take minus 42, minus 41, minus 40, and we have here minus 1, there are 42 integers. There is one more number 0, and 1, 2, 3 up till n. There are n natural numbers. So overall, how many numbers are there? 42 negative numbers, 1 is 0, and n are positive numbers. So overall, total numbers are 43 plus n. Total numbers are 43 plus n. Negative numbers are 42, 1 is 0, that makes it 43, 42 numbers, 43rd number, and n more number. So total numbers are 43 plus n. We know, and it will form an arithmetic progression. Sum of an AP will be given by n by 2, first term plus last term. This is a standard formula for an arithmetic progression. The given sequence is an arithmetic progression. So what we have, sum of an AP, how many terms are there? 43 plus n terms are there. Once again, I am saying minus 42 till minus 1. Minus 42 till minus 1, there are 42 numbers, 0 is one more number, which make it 43rd, and n more numbers are there. Total numbers are 43 plus n. Number of terms are 43 plus n by 2. The first term is minus 42, and the last term is n. This sum is given to me as 372. This term is 300, the sum of an AP is given as 372. Sum of 43 plus n terms. Do remember, there are 43 plus n terms in the progression. 42 terms are negative, 1 is 0, that makes it 43rd term, and n terms are positive. Sum of all of them, first term plus last term. First term is minus 42, last term is n. Should be equal to this. So what we have, sum of an AP will be equal to 43 plus n into n minus 42. This number should come out to be 744, and hence n is equal to 50. So the answer is 50. N is equal to 50. Value of n will be equal to n plus 43, and n minus 42 should be equal to 744. This 2 goes here, so n is equal to 50. So the last natural number is 50. The value of n, he is asking, if we need to remember one thing, that there are 42 negative numbers, one number is 0, that makes it 43 numbers, and n positive numbers. Total numbers are 43 plus n. Total numbers which are here are 43 plus n. Number of terms by 2. First term and last term we already know. First term is minus 42, last term is n, and sum is given as 372. This 2 into 372 is 744. 43 plus n, n minus 42 should be equal to 744. Solving, n is equal to 50. If after 200 grams of water were added to 24% solution of alcohol, the strength of the solution decreased by 1/3. How much of the 24% solution was used? Earlier, the concentration of the alcohol was 24%, because it is given 24% of alcohol solution. Earlier, the concentration of the alcohol was 24%. It got decreased by 1/3, so it had to become 16%. 24% decrease by 1/3 means reduction of 8 will happen, so it will become 16%. Now this is 16%. If 200 grams of water is added, this is happening, this is the 16% solution. Let originally x liter of the 24% solution was used. If x liter of the 24% solution was used, initially when it was a 24% solution, alcohol solution, 20, where the strength of the alcohol was 24%. So initially if x liter was there, how much was the actual alcohol in that? 0.24 of x. 0.24 of x was the actual alcohol in that. Initially, we are taking x liter of 24% alcohol solution. If we are taking x liter of 24% alcohol solution, actual alcohol in that will be 0.24x. 0.24x is the actual alcohol in initial 24% alcohol solution. I am taking x liter of alcohol solution in which actual alcohol is 0.24. So 0.24 of x will be the actual alcohol in initially. Now this is becoming 0.16 because 16% is 0.16. This had been reduced from 24 to 16%. There's a reduction of 1/3. 24 reduced by 8, that will become 16%. But now the volume is, water is also added. So the new volume is not x. Earlier the volume of the sample was x, out of which alcohol was 24%. This was the alcohol initially, which will be as well the alcohol now. The volume of the alcohol had not changed, only its concentration is getting changed. So now it is 16%, but the overall volume will become x plus 200. Earlier alcohol was 0.24 of x, which will be amount of the alcohol will remain same. Amount of the alcohol will remain same, but the concentration of the alcohol had come out to be 0.16. 16% of the overall volume, which had increased from x to x plus 200 because 200 liter water is added. So we can solve it in a very simple way. 0.24x minus 0.16x, 0.08x should be equal to 32. Should be equal to, see, 0.24x minus 0.16x, 0.08x is equal to 0.16 into 200, 32. So x should be equal to 400. So how much was alcohol initially? If alcohol is initially 400 liters, say I was using, or 400 ml, what is it, 400 grams or whatever is there, units we are not interested, but 400 we are using. The alcohol initially was 0.24 of it, that is equal to 96 or 9.6 will be the alcohol initially. Now it is reduced by 24%, had become 16% of 600. 16% of 600 because initial solution was 400. Now 200 water is added. Overall solution is 1600 and 16% of it will still come out to be 9.6. The alcohol content has remained same. The volume of alcohol is same in before addition and after, only concentration is going to differ. Earlier the concentration, the percentage of the alcohol was 24%, now it is 16%. So we can easily see that the volume of the alcohol is 9.6 initially, and after it also it is 9.6, which works out to be true. And initial volume was 400 for the sample, out of which 24% was alcohol. Now the volume is 600 because 200 ml water is added, and it is 0.16, 16% of that, which works out to be true. The amount of alcohol is same initially, and but the solution strength of the alcohol is weakened due to presence of the water in it, because water is added. So that is why the concentration of the alcohol is coming down from 24% to 16%. So 9.6 initially was 24% of 400, and 9.6 now, which is the same volume of alcohol. A cyclist rides his bicycle over a route which is 1 by third uphill, 1 by third level, and 1 by third downhill. He covers the uphill part of the route at the rate of 16 miles per hour, level part at the rate 24 miles per hour. The rate in which a cyclist rides route, let the total distance be equal to 3d. Because he is covering, let the total distance be equal to 3d. First he goes with the speed 16, then he goes with the speed 24, and then he goes with the speed x. So average out speed should come out to be 24 miles per hour, so which can be easily done. We know average speed in general will be equal to total distance upon total time. Average speed will be equal to total distance upon total time. Total distance is equal to 3d. Time taken over first, this is distance in kilometer, this is speed in kmph. All speeds are in kmph. So he goes distance of 3d. Time taken over first side is d upon 16 over second side. This is total distance in kilometers, and time taken is d upon 16, d upon 24, and d upon x. This is the time taken over each one third of the journey. Total distance is 3d, one third of the journey d, one third d d d. So this is total distance in kilometer, and this time is coming out to be in r, which will be independent of the d. So rather than we could have started with any fair value of distance, we could have taken it to be total distance as 48 or any other value. It is hardly going to change the question because it will be independent of the d. This is coming out to be 24. Average out speed is coming out to be 24. So 3 and 24 I will write here 8. I can do reciprocal of it. We have d and d actually cancel out. So this complete equation I can do upside down or reciprocal of it. 1 upon 16, 1 upon 24 plus 1 upon x is equal to here 1 upon 8. So what I'm going to get here, this is 3 upon 48, 2 upon 48, 5 upon 48, and this value can be written as 6 upon 48. 1 by 8 can be easily written as 6 upon 48. Here it is 5 upon 48, 3 upon 48, 2 upon 48, that is 5 upon 48. If I subtract it from 6 upon 48, I'm going to get 1 upon 48 is the value of 1 upon x. So the speed over the third part of the journey should be equal to 48 kmph. So you need to maintain
What will be the second moment of inertia? Area moment of inertia, basically about x-axis for the area under the parabolic curve. Okay, about x-axis. Okay, so suppose about x-axis means from this axis. So suppose we do consider a small strip that is at a distance of what, y, and has got a very small thickness dy, because at this particular strip we are going to assume as if it is at a distance, all the particles are at a distance of y from this x-axis. In this particular strip, all the particles we are going to consider as if they are far from this x-axis by y. So how do we consider, how do we calculate second area moment of inertia? Second area moment of inertia about x-axis will be nothing but y into y, that is y square into dA, and from this 0 to, okay, that is, I need to find out this y also. Y will be 10 square, because this is x is 10, 10 square by 10 is 10. So ten square by 10 is 10. So what will be the integrated from 0 to 10? Okay, how do I calculate this area? It's a simply, I need to find out what this length, this particular length, okay, multiplied with dy. So this is this will be x, can be calculated through this curve given y equal to x square by 10. So from here x will be 10 times of y divided, square root, 10 times of y square root x. And now what about this? This will be 10 minus 10 root y. So area will be 10 minus 10 root y into dy. Okay, fine, integrate it, you'll get your answer. If you're gonna everything has been taken in centimeters, so if you're going to just solve this particular integration, definite integration, you'll get this 476.19 centimeter raised to power 4. So the right answer is Agra.
In a gas cycle refrigeration, refrigerant at temperature T1 is enters into the compressor and compressed up to a temperature T3, which is the ambient temperature. And you have to find out the values of the COP of the cycle. So in this case the answer is D, indeterminate. Why? Because the refrigerant is compressed up to ambient temperature T3 and it is the minimum temperature to which the gas can be cooled only, because in the case of open cycle your working fluid has to be used only one time. In every cycle the fresh charge is introduced. So it means without any change in temperature or without any condenser process, it is expanded to a temperature T1. So the refrigeration effect and net work both are 0. So in this case the refrigeration effect and net work are 0. So refrigeration effect upon work input, that is 0 upon 0. So it is indeterminate form. Option D is the answer.
So our next question is about buckling theory. Now if you use the buckling formula for long column, so this is pi square E I minimum divided by L square. As you know that this force P, effective load, is going to depend on moment of inertia, area moment of inertia. So the body is going to buckle about that axis first, which has minimum moment of inertia. Now, as in this case, the I depends on radius of gyration. So we can write I minimum is nothing but A into K minimum square. So in that case we can say that the load carrying capacity depends on the minimum radius of gyration. So in that case we can say that the body is going to buckle about that axis first, which has minimum radius of gyration. So with this the answer should be A, that is the first.
Question number 7. A 500 Newton block is initially stationary on a 45-degree incline. The coefficient of dynamic friction, that means kinetic friction, between the block and incline is 0.5. What is the time taken by the block to attain a speed of, final speed is 12.5 meter per second along the incline. A 500 Newton block is initially stationary, that means initial velocity is 0 on a incline of 45 degree. Now incline is coefficient of friction is 0.5. Fine. Now my dear students, weight will act in the vertically downward direction. That is how much weight is given? 500 Newton, and there will be one normal reaction. This will be cancelled out by this 500 cos 45, and here is going to be this 500 sin 45, which is going to make it move in the down the incline direction with an acceleration A. So as we all know this, and of course friction will act in the backward direction, which is equal to mu into n, as it is in motion. So first of all, n is 500 cos 45 through Newton's first law, because acceleration perpendicular to the incline is 0. What about parallel to the incline? 500 sin 45 minus mu into n. Mu is 0.5, n is 500 cos 45. That is just half of it. This is net force down the incline, that is making an acceleration 500 by z, that is mass into acceleration is A, that is Newton's second law. And here you can simply see 0.5 into 500, either you say sin 45 or cos 45. Sin 45 equal to 500 by 9.81 into A. We'll just lose out this as 500, and now 0.5 into sin 45 sin 45 into 9.81, acceleration has come out equal to 3.4683.
Very simple problem, one marker problem. In case of flow over a flat plate, he is asking you the value of delta. Yes, decreases with kinematic viscosity, increases with kinematic viscosity, yeah, with various parameters he is asking you. So the correct answer is D. Now why the correct answer is D, my dear friends? It is because from Blochius equation we know that for laminar boundary layer, for Blochius equation it is delta is equal to delta according to Blochius equation is 5x divided by under root of Reynolds number, and for turbulent boundary layer delta value is from experiments, Blochius experiments, it is 0.377 divided by Reynolds number raised to the power 1 by 5. Now from here we know that it is 5x divided by under root of VL by nu, so it is actually 5x under root of nu divided by under root of VL. So from here we can clearly see that for laminar boundary layer as well as turbulent boundary layer, delta increases with kinematic viscosity for both laminar and turbulent. So answer is D, Delhi.
In this problem, x, y, z are non-zero real numbers. We have to find out inverse of x 0 0, 0 y 0, 0 0 z. Given that x, y, z are non-zero real numbers, therefore determinant of A is, it is a diagonal matrix, therefore product of leading diagonal elements is determinant x, y, z, which is non-zero. Since x, y, z are non-zero, therefore determinant is non-zero. Now we have to find out inverse of the matrix. Now cofactor matrix. Cofactor of x is yz. Cofactor of 0 is 0. Cofactor of 0 is 0. Here cofactor of 0 is 0. Cofactor of y is xz. Cofactor of 0 is 0. Here cofactor of 0 is 0. Cofactor of 0 is 0. Cofactor of z is xy. Now adjoint of A. Adjoint of A is transpose of cofactor matrix. Transpose of cofactor matrix is yz0, 0 xz0, 0 0 xy. Now A inverse equal to adjoint A by det A. Therefore 1 by xyz of 0, 0, 0 xz 0, 0, 0 xy. Now you will get 1 by x 0, 0, 0, 1 by y 0, 0, 0, 1 by z. That is nothing but it is a diagonal matrix x inverse 0, 0, 0 y inverse 0, 0, 0 z inverse. In this problem, in a throwing the experiment, R denotes less than or equal to 5. S denotes probability of getting odd number in throwing the experiment. Which of the following statements are true? We have to find out probability of R by S as well as S by R. All 4 options are designed based on probability of R by S and S by R. So we have to find out both. Now, here in throwing the experiment, the sample space consisting of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In that, R is an event that the number is less than or equal to 5. Less than or equal to 5 means favorable cases are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Odd number is 1, 3, 5. Now, R intersection S, common elements of R and S, 1, 3, 5. Now, probability of R by S, probability of R intersection S by probability of S. R intersection S, right? Probability of R intersection S is 3 cases out of 6 cases. Probability of S is 3 cases out of 6 cases. Now, 1 by 2 by 1 by 2, that is 1. Probability of S by R. So, probability of S intersection R by probability of R. S intersection R means 3 cases out of 6 cases. Probability of R is 5 cases out of 6 cases. So 3 by 6 by 5 by 6 is 3 by 5. In the given statements, probability of R by S equal to 1 is the correct option.
It's a very simple problem. If a student is highly conceptual, no need to even solve this problem. A cylindrical tank of diameter 1 meter is filled with liquid of relative density itna. If the tank is rotated at 200 rpm, the area of Mohr's circle for stresses on the particle at the bottom of the tank will be. As we all know that when this cylinder is rotated, it is actually hydrostatic pressure, and we know that pressure is represented by a point on Mohr's diagram or Mohr's circle. So therefore, and when it is a point, the stresses on the fluid particle at the center will be zero because the area, it is a point, so there will be no area, and hence the stresses will be zero.
200 Newton rests upon a smooth horizontal plane and has attached to its center by two strings AB and AC which pass over frictionless pulleys at B and C, carries 90 and 150 Newton respectively as shown in the figure. If the string AB is horizontal, you can see the normal reaction between the ball and the plane under equilibrium condition is okay. Now that's a really easy question actually. That seems to be a bit tough, but as you all know, that's a very easy question. If I consider equilibrium of this point A as this your what is it ball of 200 Newton is in equilibrium, so net force on this must be 0. So 200 Newton in the vertically downward direction. Now this is your tension in the string AC, that's tension in the string AB. Now, and that's normal reaction offered by ground on the particular ball. Now this angle is alpha. Okay, fine. Now we can really do the math here. As you all know, if the system is in equilibrium, tension in the string AC is equal to 150 Newton. Tension in the string AB is equal to 90 Newton. Now, first of all, better you find out this alpha, because that will solve easy. Without calculating alpha, you cannot proceed for this end. So TAC is which component? That's cos alpha has to be equal to 90 Newton. Now here cos alpha has come out equal to 90 divided by, that's TAC, and that's 150. Oh, nice. So that's cos inverse of 0.6. The alpha has come out equal to 53.13 degree. Now, how do I calculate normal reaction here for the vertical equilibrium or the net force in the vertical direction equal to 0? N plus TAC's which component sin alpha has to be balanced out by 200, that is weight, or these two forces will cancel out this 200 Newton force. 200 minus TAC, okay. Now that's TAC is 150 is sin alpha 200, okay. Sine of this angle, that's 0.8, okay, cool. 150, 120, 200 minus this, normal reaction is coming out as 80 Newton. So the right answer here is 80.
In this problem, we have to find out maximum value of f of x equal to 2 power sin x plus cos x by 2 power sin x minus cos x, where x belongs to R, x is a real number. That is 2 power sin x plus cos x minus sin x plus cos x. That is 2 power 2 cos x. You have to find out maximum value of f of x. Maximum value of f of x is depending on cos x. Cos x is maximum when x is 0. When x is 0, cos x is maximum. Therefore, maximum value of f is 2 power 2. That is 4.
Okay, so this is direct question from centrifugal clutch. So we all know that this is the formula of centrifugal clutch. Here n is the number of shoe, mu coefficient of friction, mass of each shoe, radius of CG of the shoe from the shaft center at the time of engagement, RD outer drum radius, rated speed or power transition speed, and that is the speed that which engagement began. So all data is given. So we directly put these all values. So
See, this is IS code. In this IS code, you have to draw a diagram. That is a diagram. Capital H means whole basis system. So it will touch zero line and tolerance zone will be above. The fundamental deviation of this capital H is 0 because it is whole basis system. But there is small d. We know that small h will be touch zero line and below the tolerance zone. So this is the tolerance zone of the small d9. So you have to remember this. You have to remember the things that is capital H and small h. Other that is capital H and small h. If we see that is the diagram. That is the diagram. Here capital H will be above and small h will be below tolerance zone. And before capital H, all holes has the tolerance zone above. And all shaft has the tolerance zone below. This is zero line. This is zero line. So and if we go beyond this, then hole will be below and shaft will be above. In some cases here there is in 2, 3 things there is a bilateral tolerance. Otherwise everything. So you have to remember this. Capital H will be there, small h will be there, and before capital H all hole has the tolerance zone above zero line. Before small h, all shaft has a tolerance zone below zero line. So that is the small d, that will be below zero line. This is the, and there is IT8 and this is IT9. So tolerance zone of the IT8 is small, tolerance zone of IT9 is large. So this is okay. Then what to do? Diagram is completed, and we have, from the diagram we have clearly seen that this is a clearance fate. Tolerance zone of the hole above, tolerance of the shaft below. This is a clearance fate. But they are not asking this. They are asking that what is the d, that is geometry mean diameter. This is root over 18 to 30, that is 23.238 millimeter. What is I? I is the standard tolerance unit or fundamental tolerance unit, that is I equal to 0.45 into cube root of d plus 0.00 d. If you see, there is a very tricky thing. This d must be put in millimeter and answer will be in micron. We have put the value of d in millimeter, but answer is in micron. It is not in this question. In each and every formula of this IS code, there is same thing. Each and every formula, if you see, d will be put in millimeter, answer will be micron. So there is no chance of confusion. This is 0.45 into cube root of d plus 0.00 into d, and d will be millimeter, answer will be micron. So 1.3074 micron. But tolerance of the hole is 25i. It is given. So 25i we have calculated, that is 32 this. But see, we have to produce the product. So this 33 micron, 32.685, you cannot say 32.68 or 32.7. We cannot say that is 32.7. Why?
because this product, we cannot produce this product. So tolerance will be, tolerance and fundamental deviation must be in micron. So this approximately 33 micron, that is 0.033 millimeter. So for any product, if you want to produce, then we can go for go up to micron level, that is 0.033 millimeter. But if we give no, we want to produce this, then it is not possible. 0.3268, who will produce this product up to this accuracy? It is not produced. It cannot be produced. Therefore, we don't write this. We don't write this. We write this. This is the thing we have to remember. Tolerance and fundamentals on both will be in micron only. So this is 33 micron. Therefore, the tolerance of this hole is 33 micron, that is 0.033 millimeter. So what will be the upper limit? The upper limit will be, that is basic size plus upper deviation. That is upper deviation equal to tolerance. So in this case, what is basic size? Basic size is 25 millimeter. So this is 25.000 millimeter, and this is tolerance equal to 0.033. Then what will be the value of the upper limit? That is equal to 25.033 millimeter. That is the answer. So 25.033 millimeter is the answer.
Our next problem is this. This is a simply supported beam carrying UVL symmetrically at both ends. Due to symmetricity, the reaction force at both ends would be same. So suppose this is R and R. This was suppose W naught per meter, again W naught per meter. Now we need to draw SFD of this. Now if we draw the shear force diagram, at the left end we have reaction force upward. That upward reaction force is going to produce clockwise rotation. So that clockwise rotation I am taking as positive. So that must be plus R here. If we talk about right end, we have R upward. This R is going to produce you anti-clockwise rotation. So this must be negative. So that is minus R. Now, as this is a symmetrical loading, therefore due to symmetricity, at mid-section shear force is going to change the sign. So at midpoint shear force will be 0. So from this point to this point, we need to draw shear force diagram. Now, as you know that this is the UVL. In case of UVL, the order of SFD should be parabolic. So the curve must be parabolic. If we talk about slope, if you use the formula minus ds by dx is equal to w, this is nothing but equation of slope for the shear force diagram. Now this equation says that at the point where w will be maximum, slope of the SFD will be maximum. If you see this that loading diagram, at the left end and again at the right end, the intensity of UVL is maximum. So at this end and this end, slope should be maximum. At the center we have zero intensity of UVL. It means the slope of shear force diagram at center must be 0. So the curve must be starting like this. At this point slope is maximum. From this point towards center, slope is going to decrease. So it should approach towards x-axis. Now beyond this point, from this point to this point, again that intensity is going to increase. So slope should be increasing like this. So this should be the SFD. Therefore the option should be B, that is the second one.
in this problem, we have to find out imaginary part of f of z, where f of z is z minus I by z plus 1. Z minus I by z plus 1. Now, z is nothing but x plus iy minus I by x plus iy plus 1. That is x plus I into y minus 1 by x plus 1 plus iy. Multiplying numerator and denominator with x plus 1 minus iy. You will get denominator is x plus 1 whole square minus I square into y square. I square is minus 1. Now, in the numerator, you have x into x plus 1, x square plus x minus ixy plus I into y minus 1 into x plus 1, xy plus y minus x minus 1. Minus I into I minus I square is plus y into y minus 1 is y square minus y. Now, x square plus x plus y square minus y, that is real part, minus I into plus I into xy plus y minus x minus 1 minus xy by x plus 1 whole square plus y square. Here plus xy minus xy cancel. So x square plus y square plus x minus y by x plus 1 whole square plus y square is real part plus I into y minus 1 minus x by x plus 1 whole square plus y square is imaginary part. So the imaginary part is y minus x minus 1 by x plus 1 whole square plus y square.
In this problem, it is a steam condenser where the cooling water is entering at 25 degrees Celsius and leaving it. Cooling water exit temperature is 30 degrees Celsius. Steam is condensing. The whatever the latent heat condensed by the released by the steam is taken by the cooling water with a total rate of heat transfer. Total rate of heat transfer in entire condenser, it is given as 600 megawatt, that is 600 into 10 power 6 watt. He has asked to calculate the area there. So, the total heat transfer rate Q, we know that it is the rate of change of enthalpy of the cold water, TCE minus TCI, implies 600 into 10 power 6 is equal to m dot Cp of the cooling water into TCE minus TCI, 30 minus 25. The total rate of heat transfer is equal to rate of enthalpy change of the cold fluid, that is cooling water. Cold fluid here is cooling water. So, we get the m dot Cp of the cooling water. Because steam, it is a steam condenser, because it is a steam condenser, what will be the value of the capacity rate ratio? C will become 0, because since m dot Cp big tends to infinity, steam side the capacity rate is infinity, therefore C value is equal to 0. Therefore, effectiveness will be given as 1 minus e to the power of minus NTU. So, how to get the effectiveness of the heat exchangers, because the capacity rate being big on the steam side, it should be smaller on the cold fluid side. Since capacity rate being smaller on the cold fluid side, effectiveness of the heat exchanger will be TCE minus TCI divided by THI minus TCI. The steam is condensing at a temperature of 100 degrees Celsius. 30 minus 25 divided by 100 minus 25. Steam is condensing here as 100. We get it as 0.06667. So, if you substitute that effectiveness here, we get the NTU as what is NTU? UA by m dot Cp small. The effectiveness of the heat exchanger as 0.06667. If you substitute that effectiveness here, you would be getting the NTU. NTU is given by UA m dot Cp small. The capacity rate is smaller on the cold fluid side, because the capacity rate being infinity on the steam side, it must be smaller on the cold fluid side. So, UA by m dot Cp small, it will be minus logarithm 1 minus 0.06667. If I substitute that effectiveness here, take the logarithms on both sides, log 1 is 0. So, area required will be here the m dot Cp small, we already got it there. M dot Cp small of the cooling water, we got it as 120 into 10 power 6 watt per Kelvin. If you substitute that here m dot Cp small, that is for the cooling water side, capacity rate is smaller. If you substitute that m dot Cp small here, U value has been given. The overall heat transfer coefficient U is given as 2500 watt per meter square Kelvin. So, you will be getting the area as 3311.
in this yes, given operating factor for a welding machine is given operating factor, or we can say duty cycle is same, operating factor equal to 80% we can say. Yes, given welding speed is 20 meters per hour, yes, given and the setup time or idle time is given. Idle time is 10 minutes it has given. So we need to find out length of this workpiece. At a given speed, how much length of this workpiece we can be welded, we need to find out. So first, from the operating factor, we can find weld time. So operating factor will be equal to weld time by weld time plus weld time by weld time plus idle time plus idle time. So as given operating factor 0.8, weld time we need to determine weld time plus idle time is 10 minutes. So from here weld time equal to 40 minutes. So if you want to find out the length of this workpiece equal to weld time multiplied by, you can say welding speed we can consider. This is 40 by 60 into welding speed is 20 meters per hour. So upon simplification we are getting 13.33 meters is the length of the workpiece.
They given that Otto cycle is having a compression ratio of 6. The condition before the process is given as 1 bar and 27 degrees Celsius. So I'm writing R as 6, gamma is 1.4. For the Otto cycle, the efficiency of Otto cycle is very simple, 1 minus 1 by R power gamma minus 1. If I solve this value, I'll get the answer as 51.16%. Then in the next part they said that the Otto cycle is expanded further to make it ideal Atkinson cycle. In Atkinson cycle there is no heat rejection at constant volume. If you expand it till the last to the reach to the atmospheric pressure, then you reach to the Atkinson cycle. And for that you need to determine the expansion ratio. Expansion ratio is basically that is P3 by P1 power 1 by gamma. You know already the
They given you that you can determine the P3 pressure by using the data, which is data is given as that maximum pressure in both the cycle is 20 bar. So this pressure is given as 20 bar. P1 pressure you already know. So if you use this value, you will get the value as 8.4. When you know expansion value, expansion ratio, compression ratio both, then you can determine the efficiency of Atkinson cycle. I'm writing as efficiency of A, Atkinson, efficiency of O means Otto cycle. So formula for Atkinson cycle 1 minus gamma in bracket expansion ratio minus compression ratio divided by expansion ratio power gamma minus compression ratio power gamma. That is in basic thermodynamics book. In all thermodynamics book you'll get this formula for Atkinson cycle, but I'm comparing this Atkinson with the Otto cycle. You'll get the answer as 54.66%. so this efficiency is actually more than the Otto cycle efficiency. Obviously when you are not rejecting heat and you are expanding it till the what atmospheric pressure condition, you will get more efficiency, more power. And the difference in efficiency is basically that is 54.66 minus 51.16, and that is come out to be 3.5%. And this is the data entry problem, so you need to write the data as 3.5%.